Hello everybody, here we are up the trail. It's a half decent day out here. The rain has stopped and we're out getting some exercise. So today's video is going to be kind of a special one. Not only are we going up the trail and having a fun day out here, we're going to take a look back at the 2019 season. And it's been a heck of a good year. So many amazing things happened this last year, and we're just going to touch on a few of them, but yeah, it'll be the best of 2019. So, for me personally, one of the big highlights of this year was when Goldie came into my life. She's a pretty special little girl.
I thought it was a...
Okay, now put her down and see where she goes. Right back. Go get her, Heidi.
That's the way. Hold on. It's a piece of wood. I don't know what it was. It's like, no, you can't have it.
Go.
That's like their little play spot there.
It is.
All the amazing things that happened over this last year, so many to pick from, but one of my favorites was from May, our camp out here in Greenwater this last spring, and that was when Goldie was 6.5 weeks old at that camp out. And that was when, yeah, I had quite an experience one night. I got into the tent. She was tucked down into the sleeping bag. I picked up my lantern, turned it off, set it back down, and this enormous light comes on in front of my tent, outlining a shadow figure, a upright person directly in front of my tent. And when we did the reenactment, we literally had to have somebody inches from the tent wall to create such a perfect shadow, such a perfect outline. We also discovered that the light was coming from up above, up in the tree limbs. We weren't able to recreate that, not only because, well, we couldn't get up that high, but we didn't have a light bright enough. So, you know, right after the shadow figure was gone, the light moved, and that's when the portal opened in my tent. That was pretty cool too. It was only there for a few seconds. It opened and it closed and it was gone, and then the mist of the silvery mist of Sasquatch faces began to appear, and I watched those until I fell asleep. So that for me was a really big highlight of the year. So yeah. Oops, she's got a stick. So wasn't that something, huh? Okay, so back to looking at 2019. We had so many footprints. We had, Goldie, you're cracking me up. We had 4 good campouts. They were all amazing. When we were in the Blue Mountains, we were in an area where there was a juvenile was seen climbing a tree. We went back, found the trackway from where it walked to and from the tree. That was awesome. That's the tree. The trails where the vegetation is knocked down is over there. Actually, it kind of looks like it went up that way and came back that way. We have a little more turned up dirt over here. And here we've got crushed plants. You know, this is really fresh, just crushed recently. There we go, and that is not elk. That, I believe, may be footprint right there. While we were investigating the area, we found firewood, and the next day while we were collecting the firewood, something else jumped out of a tree. We went back the day after that to recreate what that was and caught something else, another one possibly jumping out of the tree, although this time you could only see the arm, and yeah, it was right there, just a few feet from where Rob and Sandy were standing. So yeah, let's take a look back at that.
They say they're slender when they're young.
4 feet? That's about the same that Kelly described. Okay, so let's move on to September. Our September camp out this last season. It was quite a trip to Canada we had. Oh my gosh, it was amazing. We were welcomed within hours of arriving. They shook a tree at me as farewell when I left. Yeah, it was just one of the greatest campouts ever. One of the things that happened, and I didn't even know about it at the time, it wasn't until I posted the video, which is a pretty common thing. Thank you to all of you out there in YouTube land who catch these things and send them back to me. But so yeah, Sandy and I had gone for a walk by ourselves. We were just out looking at some structures, and we managed to get a voice on camera. And like I said, it was just Sandy and I that were there, and yet somebody else said hi.
Not been cut, it's been broken.
And then balanced there. And there's actually another one on the other side that leans up.
Not been cut, it's been broken.
And then balanced there. And there's actually another one on the other side that leans up.
Not been cut, it's been broken.
And then balanced there. And there's actually another one on the other side that leans up. So wasn't that something, huh? Yeah, British Columbia is quite the place. So the one last thing that I want to point out of our highlights from 2019 also happened in British Columbia. We had several campers reporting run-bys through the night. Vocals, run-bys. We had all heard screams throughout the week, but at one point, while we're examining the area where the run-bys had been, we actually captured a scream on camera. Wow. No, I didn't know this one was here. It's got the older ferns. It's got fresh ferns. Things are balanced. I didn't know this one was here. It's got the older ferns. It's got fresh ferns. I didn't know this one was here. It's got the older ferns. It's got fresh ferns. So this scream, we had it analyzed. It turns out that it was one individual. It has human-like qualities, but it's missing some of the markers that would say that it is definitely human. It was analyzed by Dave Ellis of the Olympic Project. He does excellent work. I'm kind of hoping, you know, that he'll take a look at that voice that says hi and see if there's any matches with the scream that was caught later that same week. So anyway, I guess that pretty much wraps up the best of our 2019 season. Thanks for coming for a walk with us out here today. Got high hopes for the 2020 year. Can't wait to get to it. Spring will be here before you know it, and anything else awesome that happens out here, I'll be sure to let you know. So Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, everybody. Bye. All right, you ready to go? Shall we go? Let's go, kids. You're goofy. She's gonna get you, Jack. She's gonna get you.